Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. We've got a Saturday night stream. I want to thank everybody for joining me in chat. We're going to wait for a few more people probably to pop in to the live stream before we get going on our builds. I want to start off this stream. It happens before I hit record on the archive, so I want to give a shout out to Mr. Bob, who just subscribed for the fourth month in a row. Thank you very much for continued support using your Twitch Prime token. Really appreciate that. If you have Amazon Prime, you link it with your Twitch. You get Twitch Prime. You don't see ads on the site, and you get a token you can use for anybody. And why not use that for me? Also, hey, if you have Twitch Prime, go up to your rewards and click on it, and make sure that you get the Prime loot. Because right now you can get at time of this recording, you can get super hot for Windows. For I don't know about Mac, but I know you can get super hot for Windows for free. So that rules. So do that if you haven't. 'Cause super hot is awesome, and it's free because you're paying for Amazon Prime. If you're like me, you just paid for it this week because it just renewed. And you forgot, and then suddenly you were like, "Where'd that money go? Oh no!" We're going to go into our build in just a moment here, working on our GM Sniper 2. We have completed a bunch of it. We're working on finishing up the shoulders, and then we'll move on to the waist and the legs and the weapons. We won't finish it tonight. We'll probably finish it on Wednesday is my guess. We'll definitely get the legs done and the waist done. We might not finish the legs. We'll get the waist done and some of the legs. So yeah, throw that bear cave emote if you're a subscriber like Mr. Bob. Let the people know that for $5 or free, you're using your Twitch coin, you get a cool emote. And then also, 1 week from today, next Saturday, I'm doing a drawing. One of my subscribers is going to win some Mega Constructs that I've built on the stream. 3 Mega Constructs. The first evolutions of all the starter Pokemon, original starters. So that's up for Last Brooks in the chat. Hello. So that's up for a drawing for my subscribers, and I'm going to do that next Saturday in South Carolina. I'm doing an hour-long stream. I'm going to give those away, and then I'm also going to build a couple more Mega Constructs. And I will almost completely and totally finish that line of Mega Constructs. So the next time I travel, I'm going to have to think of something else to build. It'll probably just be a small Lego set. The Mega Constructs are really easy, but I know that we are competing with quite a few streams. There are a number of extra live streams happening this weekend that may have drawn people's attention. So it's probably going to be a small little crew here live, which is okay. I understand. But, you know, giving people a chance to pop in if they are here and want to watch some of the stream. I've got a comedy show tonight. I'll mention it later in the thing, but I got a show at midnight Eastern here in New York. If you're in New York, you want to go check out the new Hell's Kitchen location, see a show there, I'm in it. It's a comedy bit show. Should be pretty fun. All right. Let's see. Let's move real quick. And great. Okay. All right. Let me switch over here. Great. Okay. So this is what we've got built so far. We've got connected the head to the body. So that's there. We got our head. We got our body. It's pretty good. We've got our arms here. I decided to go with the hands open. Probably swap those out for the weapons when it's time to build our weapons. Right now, we'll leave that as. And these are our shoulder pieces that you're going to combine with a couple of things. They're going to go on our shoulder armor, and then they'll connect. So we're going to get into that. As always, if you're building something tonight, let me know. If you're painting model kits, or you're designing something, or you're just hanging out, relaxing, you know, you can always tweet those at me. I always retweet, even if I'm not streaming. If you send me something that you're working on, I'll be sure to give you a shout out on my Twitter, because I like that builders and creators follow me and watch. And if you're not doing that, that's also awesome. If you're just hanging out because it is time to hang out, then go for that. I already put this on wrong, so I'm going to fix that. No biggie, no problem. This is pretty straightforward. Just building some shoulder pieces here, layering that in. and then we will snap that onto this and then snap them onto that. No problem. Nice and easy. And this goes here. And got one more piece to put on there. So we'll do this next one here. You're building pork ribs tonight. Ooh, pork ribs, Mr. Bob. That sounds real good. Even though I just ate a little while ago, I could go for some pork ribs. I guess what I'm going to have to do is get some boneless barbecued spare ribs from the Chinese restaurant near my work tomorrow when I'm at work. All right, so we're building our shoulder pieces here. Got most of it assembled. We're going to put our got a couple more pieces to put on there. I waited. I did a getting my fingers warmed up, getting my stuff set up, checking the streams, all that. My pre-stream work. I did a little clipping, but I wanted to save these for the stream because they were tiny, and I want to have these on the booklet for the least amount of time possible before I put them in the kit. So that way I minimize the risk of them falling and sliding under something, because that will happen with me. And then we'll use our snipper clips to push those in to make sure it's nice and flush and hopefully doesn't pop out. It certainly could, but with the master grades, you run less of a risk of that. Real grades, whatever. We'll get to the part that falls apart all the time. Our waist, man. If this kit has it so that the parts of the waist don't fall off, then it's the best kit ever. Because man, those like to come apart, especially real grades. It seems like. All right, and then we'll find the piece we need there. Yeah. So if anybody else is building anything besides ribs, I'll get that later. I just dropped a piece, and I'm gonna get it in a little bit. That's A. I dropped sheet A, if anyone's keeping track at home. But yeah, so I tweeted this yesterday, and it got a little traction, so I want to talk about it here in chat with you and those folks following at home later, watching the stream on YouTube in the future. So here's a big thing. Supernatural has had 13 seasons, and I've never seen any of it. It started on the WB and moved to the CW. Like, that's astonishing to me that a show like that just continues to exist. Like, obviously, people like it, people love it, people hate it. I'm not here to comment on the good or bad parts of Supernatural. I know that some people were unhappy with how they just kill off any woman that's ever on the show, and they don't seem to come back from the dead. I don't know enough about that, but I do know that is a thing that some people were unhappy about that otherwise like the show. But one thing that I definitely noticed about that show is that it is still on, and it is gonna keep being on, I guess. Like, it's been on just forever, and it's really surprising to me because I haven't consumed it at all. So if there are any shows like that, let me know in the chat if there are any shows that you are baffled by the continued existence, or that has lived like in infamy forever, and you're just like, man, I've never seen any of that. I have no idea. That's the main one for me. Is where's this go? How does this work? What's this do? The other one that's kind of like that for me is I got linked to something on YouTube, and then it was like, if you like this, you'll also like that, which, recommendations, I actually really appreciate that. I think those are very cool. But it recommended for me a show that I didn't know ever existed. It's a show called Banshee. It's a Cinemax original series, and it ran for several seasons, and it is a show that I did not know existed. Like, have never, ever, ever in my life heard of that show. I don't remember a billboard. I don't remember an ad, a commercial. Like, I ride the subway every day. I'm in a major market. I see ads. I can't get away from ads. And, like, believe me when I tell you, I don't know what the fuck Banshee is. Like, now I do because I went and looked it up on Wikipedia and I was like, oh, it's kind of fun. A guy is posing as a sheriff in a small town. The sheriff had was supposed to go there, died. This guy assumed his identity, so he's an ex-con pretending to be a lawman. And then it's also in Amish country, and there's like the kingpin of the neighborhood is like uh, an Amish guy that was like exercised from the community, like banished from the community, and it's like all sounds pretty cool. Like it was one of those things where I'm like, I could get into the show, um, but I had no idea it existed. It came and went, but it's not like it was a one like oh it was around for like a half season. It did well enough that they were like, yeah, keep making more of this. I don't know. It's just bizarre to me. Like I've seen episodes of The Big Bang Theory. Like I've seen television shows that existed for a while. Uh, it's strange to have a show that just like came and went, and I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm saying. Oops. But I think you know what I mean. All right, so we're putting our shoulders on. This hand doesn't like to stay, and I'm a little I don't really know why. That likes to pop off, which is fine. I don't mind it popping off. I just want to know why it doesn't want to stay. So I'm going to try the other way. Doesn't want to work the other way. This is the way it wants to work. I'm not 100% sure why, but it doesn't seem to like to stay in place. We'll give it one more go here. All right. That maybe did it. Yeah, let me know in the chat. We got a little bit of a quiet chat tonight, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I understand. Some of y'all just like to relax and not say anything in the chat, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, if you have like a show that you're like, I had no idea this existed and it's been on forever, let me know. I like hearing about it. All right. Yeah, this just doesn't want to stay on, and that is annoying. I'm gonna redo it, and then we'll put it back in. All right. I got quiet here. I apologize for that. It's bad internet when you get quiet. But just trying to get this shoulder done right here. I kind of fucked it up, so now I'm going to fix my mistakes, and then everyone will be happy. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, so I watched the. I apologize for that. That was not cool. Cough right into the microphone. I apologize for that. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So sorry. I'm just trying to get this fixed right here. Doesn't seem to want to do what I want it to do. Great. Okay. Got that in. Got that in. Lock that in. Okay, great. We did it, y'all. We got it. We're doing it. Getting this done. Yeah, I like following the YouTube recommendations. Uh, I like following those. I think that, it often seems to lead me in a weird way where sometimes it's like, well, if you like these two PUBG streamers, then you'll love, or YouTube, people, you'll love all YouTube streamers about PUBG. And it's like, no. In the same way for Hearthstone, it's like, hey, have you checked out this Hearthstone streamer? What about this Hearthstone streamer? Well, you like Hearthstone streaming, right? So here's all of them. And it's not what I want. I've had to like be like not interested in this person's channel because it's like I don't want just 100 videos from different people doing it. I have found some cool videos, some cool people doing that way, but I usually like follow like I watch one streamer who is very good at PUBG and puts up great streams and great archive clips, and someone he plays with quite often. He was linking that person's YouTube, so then I followed that. That's kind of like how I like to do it. Mr. Bob, you're not having broadcast TV for 2 to 3 years. There are many shows. I have no idea, but you're still curious. Ruby by Rooster Chicken is the thing that. Oh, Rooster Teeth, I think you mean, Mr. Bob. But Rooster Chicken, I think, is great. Yeah. So was it Ruby Bows is a thing that they produced, but I know that it's on Crunchyroll because so I'd never heard of it. But then Crunchyroll did a thing where they like sponsored a YouTube channel that I watched drawing stuff to like hit the random button on Crunchyroll and then draw stuff based on that, and that came up, and I was like, so my only context for what RWBY Ruby is the comic take on it. So I don't actually know. It's like I watched the parody, but I haven't watched the source material. So like I'm sure it's great. And I might even be into it. I don't know. I like anime. It's not that I don't like anime. It's just that I don't know if I like that show because I don't know anything about it. All right. So we are working on the waist right now. We finished. We got our arms. We got our shoulders. We got things going there. I'm going to be kind of careful because that one arm seems to want to pop down, and I don't want that. We're using H. We haven't used this before. We're going to use this for the waist here. So we'll do 31, 30. Give me one quick second because I'm getting an email about the show I'm doing tonight. So I'm going to check that real quick. I apologize for this. This is unprofessional. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And, oh, my running order. I'm up third. Hell yeah. Okay. I have to send a reply to email. I apologize for this. This is rude of me. I apologize for this bit. I'll be there. Yes, Waffles. This is an unprofessional Saturday. But I want to send this email. Okay, I'm back. I apologize for that, Mr. Bob Waffles in the chat. So yeah, okay, let's get back into it. That I had a strong desire to watch Attack the Gas Station. Oh man, Mr. Bob, you're making me think about that Korean film. It has been quite some time since I thought of Attack the Gas Station. I saw that subtitled with a bunch of people. In where was I gonna go? Oh, I saw that in what was I? Yes. So I saw that in Otakon, Baltimore, Maryland, years ago, but I was still a young man in the 90s when it probably soon after it came out. Yeah, I saw that with a bunch of people. I saw that in a double bill. I saw Attack the Gas Station, which for those that don't know is a comedy. It is a action comedy of a bunch of dumb idiots who can kind of fight. and it's a good dumb time. Directly after that, I saw Battle Royale, and I didn't know anything about Battle Royale, and that was, I'm going to admit, a bad double bill. That was a lot, and I felt real weird after watching it. Um, and I wish that I hadn't stayed for Battle Royale because it was real rough. Um, I wish I had just uh, yeah, it was real rough, and I wish that I hadn't done it. Um, but yeah, I wish I had watched it at a different time because it was like it was okay. So here's the thing: I really do enjoy that movie. I think it's good. Battle Royale. I'm a fan, but it was also kind of cool to see it in a room full of people at a convention. Uh, but uh, yeah. Overall, it was such a tonal shift from like an action goof 'em up comedy where like it's just kind of like it's a comedy. It's fucking funny and weird and stupid, and violent. To go from that to like, well, there's nothing fun. It's fun, but like just gory and violent and depressing movie like Battle Royale, which is still very cool and I'm into it. Yeah, it was a tough, very tough. Um, and okay. And now what I need to get is I got to roll over here and get the sheet that I knocked over. I did it. Here, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. So as far as double bills go, that was a tough one. Attack the Gas Station, I knew I was gonna like, and Battle Royale, I did definitely enjoy, but it was a tough one. Those double bills can be tough when you're just like, the theme is Asian movies. It's like, okay. Even like anime, like the thing with Otakon that I remember really liking. I mean, I haven't been there in forever. This is the '90s that I would go. The thing that was cool about it was like there was just rooms, like there were panel rooms that just had anime playing. Just go and watch an anime. There were just rooms that were just like, here, watch this. And especially like I'm talking the mid to late '90s. So you're doing a lot of subs, a lot of trading. Maybe you're just starting to get a DVD. Most likely, you're still watching VHS tapes of translations. And so to be able to like go into just a random room and watch a show, you discovered a lot of cool stuff. There was a show called Oni, not the video game Oni, but the anime Oni. And I remember I just was like, oh, that means demon, right? I'll go to that. And it was like a cool like show that was like I can't really remember exactly what it was, which is bad for this to be like. It was a cool show that I can't describe, but it was cool. I just remember all I remember from it was that it it was like I had to go and then track it down later because it was just like, oh, this might be okay, and it was very okay. Um, so that was a cool like anime like experience. I had a lot of fun at Otakon. It was the first time I ever traveled out of state with my friends. Like we got here. Uh Kemplar was taken. Kemplar was taken is now following. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that very much. If you're not following, if you're just you just follow the link on Twitter when I tweet about it, please consider giving me a follow. It would be very cool of you, and I would appreciate it very much. It'll let you know when I'm streaming. You'll get an email if you set that up. You can set your notifications for that, which is a cool thing. But and then if you got that Twitch coin, give me that subscription. Why not? Why don't you? I should also say, I should let you know, everybody, that right now we're dealing a sale here on Twitch. Subscriptions for first-time subscribers is 20% off. It's so that's a cool thing. Also, gift subscriptions, which are pretty new. You can do a gift subscription and get a discount on that, the same 20% off. So which that's pretty cool. And then oh, cheers are, money in my pocket eventually with the split. So cheers are always appreciated. If you watch videos and you watch ads or whatever and you rack up cheer points, that's always something you could do. And then the benefit of that is right now is if you cheer people a certain amount, I can't remember the exact one, I apologize, you get an emote. You get like a special emote during the Christmas season or the winter holiday season, I should say. Apologize. Um, you get a cool emote that's just because you um, uh, cheered someone. So if collecting emotes is something you like, you could do that. Certainly no need to tip me. Just being here is all you need to do. Obviously, we're small but mighty tonight. Just a few people watching. I know that there are lots of other streams. A couple of my friends are streaming. There's some charity streams happening. I have two different friends who are doing real long charity streams, which is very cool. And I supported them with some time and donated to my friend yesterday. Donated a little bit more money for charity. Gotta help out when you can. So I appreciate those of you that are hanging out with me tonight. Small and quiet tonight. Yeah, last Saturday was a little bit more lively in the chat, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Occasionally, I do run out of things to say, especially on Saturday because I just streamed on when I have just streamed on what should I say? Oh, when I've just streamed on. Sorry, gotta clip this. When I've just streamed on Thursday, I occasionally run out of some things to say when we hit Saturday. And so I try to have some topics to discuss, try to bring in some things. The big thing to me was the realization that how long Supernatural has been on television without me watching any of it. But yeah, going back to that a little bit, I'll go back to that just a hair and say one of the things that made me laugh the most recently was a friend of mine, younger sister, is obsessed with, was obsessed with, might still be obsessed with the sci-fi series Merlin. Like, is a diehard Merlin fan, and no, I mean, I've heard the name. I know that that's a TV show or was a TV show, is a TV show, but like it was one of those things which was like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, there's so much out there. Of course, there's things that I haven't seen. I mean, there's stuff that y'all haven't seen. I'm sure that you're like. I mean, there was that whole thing. It was a pretty good joke a while back. Continued bit where people were just like joking about not knowing what burn notice was. There's that SNL sketch called "What Is Burn Notice," which was very funny because I watched. I mean, I watched so much. Yeah, Waffles. Merlin, I guess, was like a teen. It's like a teen version of Merlin. It's like Harry Potter, but Merlin, I guess. But he knows some stuff. I don't know. That's what it seemed like. It was a couple of years ago that it was pretty popular with the young crowd, I guess. But I just missed out on it. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much out there to consume that it's impossible to see everything and know about everything. Uh, the Yeah, Burn Notice was just like a show that I watched so much of it because my dad started watching it, and then I remember being home with him, visiting my folks, and being like, okay, and I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. Okay, I'll check this out. All right, so we did that. We did this. So these look a little more secure than most of the kind of these pieces. So hopefully this will not just completely fall apart immediately. It would be really cool if that was the case. All right, so we need A and E. We'll get A out first. We'll move on to E in a minute. Ryan Davis had a rant about burn notice. So, I remember it was like Ryan Scott, formerly of One Up and various other publications and podcasts and such, really liked that show, and there was a period where he was really into it, and I remember just thinking like, oh, I'm glad someone else I know, kind of know. I mean, I knew him from the internet, but it was still like, oh, I'm glad someone I know knows about this show, so it's not just me. The thing with Burn Notice is like all USA shows, it's like, oh, Cross 600, yeah, Ryan Scott is the reason you started watching Burn Notice, yeah. I mean, the main thing about that show was it was just like perfectly watchable. Um, I started watching because my dad had been watching it. My dad started watching because he likes Bruce Campbell and wanted to support a show that Bruce was on. And I also really dig that dude and was happy to watch a show. I was happy that he was in a show that existed for a while because the man's real fun and cool, and I wanted him to be in a good TV show. Um, but yeah, I watched a lot of that show. I don't know if I don't think I ever watched the last season. Eventually, I got rid of cable. Like that's the main thing is that I don't have cable, so I gotta watch things on the internet or whatever. Uh, So yeah, so I do watch a lot of stuff. Like I'll get I have season passes for a couple things because there are a few shows that I want to see no matter what. What's a good example right off the bat that I'm like, oh, this is a thing that I'm going to see no matter what Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I love. I think it's a really good show. It's really well written and the songs are all great. And I know Rachel. We're not super close, but I was around when she was around, and we're friendly. I'm pretty good friends with her husband Dan, so I'm so thrilled that she has a good show because she's such a hardworking person and such a dedicated and also really nice person. So her having a successful show makes me happy. And also I really like it. It's different. It's a cool show. All right, so we're gonna put this on here. I don't know quite what this is. We're putting it on. Oh, I believe this is the back, and then this is probably where you put our beam swords when they're not like the beam weapon holder. That's my guess. All right, so we're gonna put that there. Oh, yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, that is what we do. So we need D1 and D4. Put that there. All right. Okay. Yeah, these are our. I don't know if these are the actual beam weapons we use or if these are like duplicates just for show in the back, but that's what's going on here. And that's where they hold them. It's practically a good spot for them, I would say. Yeah, I mean, I just, like I said, oops, I definitely just dropped okay, here it is. Great. Found it. I don't watch a lot of TV because I just don't have cable right now, which is I prefer not to have it. So, yeah. So this is the back here. I'll show right there. We're putting those on. Yeah, I think I'd much rather have just like I pay for internet. I watch a lot of internet stuff, and then I do iTunes seasons for things that I really want to see. And I watch the versions. I have a couple passwords from friends for things like that. I got rid of Netflix because I really wasn't using it, and I usually just renew when I want to watch something, and I'll renew it for like 2 or 3 months and then cancel again because there's not something that keeps my interest. Like most TV is Bad Waffles. Yes, so that's where Beam Sabers live here on the back. That's true. I appreciate right now. We're about to connect these pieces together. I need C11. Yeah, I have Crunchyroll and I had Hulu. I just gave Hulu up. I'll go back to Netflix when shows that I want to watch consistently come up. Like when season 2 of a Glow comes out. That'll be appointment television for me. That'll be sometime next year, I assume. Um, you got a few awards for that show, which is pretty cool. Um, yeah, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Where it's like, well, if there's something I really want to see, I'll get it. But I don't want to keep Netflix just to have it. Um, I will say this: if you want to have good internet stuff and you want to support people and you want to do the right thing, and have not have ad blocker turned on for everything and all that, uh, I cannot recommend enough YouTube Red. Not for the original content, although Rob Hubel has a great comedian, good dude, has a show on YouTube that just came out that's actually pretty damn funny. It wouldn't be worth getting it at all. But so I have YouTube Red, and along with my Google Music account, and that double 1-2 punch. So the thing that I would definitely say about YouTube Red that I like it, and this is obviously not a paid ad, it's just a thing, um, is the no ads. And so you can just play music on YouTube, set a playlist, no problem, especially in your phone. The other thing is that if it was going to be an ad, um, that creators, people that are in the YouTube Partner Program, it still counts. They still would get credit for you watching an ad because you pay YouTube or Google. So for my friends that make things on YouTube, including myself, these videos are monetized. Folks that monetize things, like watching those is still helping them. If I watch the parody of the Ready Player One trailer that ProZD made, he gets credit for that. That's like 2 million views right now. At one point, he had more views on YouTube than the actual trailer for Ready Player One, which is hilarious and also pretty damning. Um, but yeah, if I watch that, I'm not hurting. I'm not hurting Sungwon. Uh, so that appeals to me. All right, so we finished our waist here. We got our skirt ready to go. These look pretty sturdy. Hopefully they won't pop off. The real grade, both real grades I made, these popped off consistently. Um, yeah, I was looking to, support people, and YouTube Red seemed like a cool thing. I also play a lot of music for my job, and knowing that if I'm logged into YouTube, I'm never going to see an ad before I play a song is helpful for my work. So it makes all sense. I can write it off. So that's pretty good. Um, it's pretty good. And then also Google Music is okay. I miss Spotify. Um, there are a few songs. My holiday mix, which I'll share next. I shared on Twitter. I'll post again next week. Um, I had a holiday mix on Spotify, and I just moved it over to my Google Music. I'll put the link up next week. Like I said, one of the cool things about that is it wasn't on Spotify. The Merry Christmas Everybody by Slade was not on Spotify. I had to have the Oasis cover, which is an okay cover, but it's not what I wanted. But it is on Google Music, so I was able to have that in my playlist, and that makes me happy. But trade off, the actual recorded Spotify version, because it's Spotify exclusive right now, of DMX's cover of Rudolph, he released this year, unfortunately is not on Google Music, so that can't be in my playlist. That's good and stupid in a way that I really like. It was a bit he did on the radio, and this year that kind of went viral, and then this year he released it as a full track, which is really cool and funny. It's good, and it's also good in stupid. It's both. I think it's good on its own, and then also real dumb. All right, so we're going on the leg units. We're building our feet right now. This is a cool little detail. These are booster rockets. Let's see here. Sometimes wish the Giant Bomb guys would have YouTube Red for times they'll put up a video. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, um, yep, yeah. it's that tough thing where sometimes you're just like, I do kind of sometimes wish that all my subscription model things were all under the same umbrella, but that's not how that works, unfortunately. So yeah, you got to go through their player, and maybe that works, maybe that doesn't. And sometimes that's can be kind of a nightmare. What was I gonna say? Oh, and then Mr. Bob, I did see Anime Crimes Division. I thought it was pretty good. There were a few references in there that I did not get, which is to be expected because there's only so much anime you could watch, and I thought some of the acting was a little hit or miss, but the effects were all pretty good for like a web show. They were web show good. I like to think I have some experience with that, watching a lot of internet comedy and action stuff. Okay, so why can't I figure this out? But yeah, I thought overall it was a pretty good show, and I applaud them for doing some original content. And like, you know, the thing I'll say this is, when it comes to popular culture, especially young people's popular culture, uh, everyone is very forgiving. Like, you can be very bad at a thing, and do very well. Um, like Mega 64 figured it out, right? They can make content. It's not necessarily for everybody, but they make video game comedy stuff, things about video games, and they do a good job with it. So I really appreciate that because a lot of, like, especially video game stuff, but even comic book stuff, even anime stuff, uh, are just people get rewarded because they're like the first in a thing. They're like the first people to realize, like, oh, we can make comedy videos about this subject. No one else is, so let's do that. Um, and they're not great at it. They are oftentimes bad at it, but they're the first ones to the table, so they get like a pass. And then much later, people are like, "Oh, actually, this is bad." Now, good people are making that thing. Um, like I think that we give a pass to a lot of problematic and uh, kind of like, here's my shots fired, Cross Hunter. Here are my shots fired. Uh, there are almost no speedrunners who can talk into a microphone. Most speedrunners are very good speedrunners. Um, and when they are talking, and I've watched a lot of speedrunning. Obviously, I watched Games Done Quick and Summer Games Done Quick. I've watched that a ton. I've watched a bunch of other just like other shows. I've watched some streams, and for the most part, there aren't people that can do both. They can hold a conversation and do a very difficult thing that I understand is very difficult. There will come a time where someone figures out a way to be both entertaining and very good at streaming. There's like a couple people out there. There are a few, like, I'm not saying there aren't people out there that do it, but I'm saying the majority of people like that are going to travel that have a name attached to them, you find that they're just like not like can't keep a conversation going, can't talk about things, can't multitask the way they need to in order to do that part of the job properly, and it comes off as like painful to watch sometimes. Like it's hard to know when you need to stop doing an inside joke because you have an audience that doesn't know the joke. Like that's a hard thing to learn that like people got to learn. Um, and it's yeah, it can be rough. It can be pretty rough. But I'm sure there are speedrunners out there that are good at it. Um, I don't know. Yeah, it's like anything else, right? When you're in the ground floor, you get a lot of leeway. Like, man, there were some bad webcomics out in the day. When webcomics took off, there were some very bad ones. But there were people who just consistently did it, and that counted for a lot in people's minds. Like, consistency mattered to a lot of folks, much more than quality. There was a webcomic. I don't remember anything about it, right? Um, I mean, I don't remember the name of it. I remember things about it. I don't remember the name of it. But what stood out to me the most was it was like, because it was like using the Final Fantasy sprites, and it was updated regularly. I think it might have been called 8-Bit Theater. Forgive me if I'm misremembering. But I just remember at a certain point I was like, am I reading this because I like it, or am I reading this because this person updates enough consistently that I'm just gonna keep looking at it? Like I had to like stop and think if I actually liked it, or if it was just like a thing that I liked. It was like, oh, the Final Fantasy sprites, I like that. Uh, Showmanship seems to, yes, just still lag. So that's that, Mr. Bob. I think that is nailing the head. Like, uh, speed running is a performance, right? I believe it's a performance art, and I believe there are ways to do it well. And I think there are some people that do it well, but not enough. I would say the majority are still just, well, if I'm good at this, that's cool. I don't have to be entertaining or thoughtful or fun or funny. Um, you know, and my favorite streamers are engaging and entertaining, um, and they don't have to be great at something. That's a thing that like I do follow people who make things who are good at it, who are like good at the thing that they are streaming. And then I also follow people who are just like really fun, entertaining, and interesting, and don't have to be the very best at a game to get my attention. Because I'm not good at all the games that I play. I don't expect my the people I watch to be like the best in the world at something. I'd much more be interested. You and Vinny from Giant Bomb are Assassins of Dead Air. Kill the dead air. Actually, I'll say that like one of the reasons why I don't stream longer, I do an hour and a half, is because I realize after about an hour that I'm running out of steam when it comes from doing Gunpla and holding a conversation. Um, which is why I'm so happy when y'all engage in chat. And of course, like I said, I don't have a problem with folks that just turn it on their Xbox app and just kind of kick back and watch, and they don't participate in the chat. I'm fine with that. I want people to enjoy it the way they want to enjoy it. But when y'all do talk in the chat, it's awesome for me because it does give me something to jump off on. Because I can just talk and talk, but occasionally I do realize that I'm rambling and maybe my thoughts aren't necessarily fully formed. And the only thing I'll say for myself is that I'm still new to streaming. This is a thing I started this summer. So, yeah, Cross Hunter, like, and especially playing a video game, I think, like, video games allow a bit more for pauses. This particular style of performance here means that I have to be a little bit more engaged, because if I just stop talking, then all you're going to hear is the snapping of pieces. And that's fine, but it's not great. I'd much rather, you hear me talking and all that, and we're conversing and kind of seeing what's going on in with y'all, and keep up in that regard. And then and then every once in a while there might be a moment where I don't have anything to say. But with video game stuff, it's a little easier. I'm hoping that once I do have the funds to build up my computer again, and get a actual dedicated streaming machine instead of my laptop, which works fine for this, but doesn't really work. That one time I did the Hearthstone stream, my number one note from people was, this was hard to watch live. The archive ended up being okay, but live it was pretty laggy. All right, and then I'm just looking at this, and we're putting that there. Hello. So what's my gunpla of the year? So, I'll say of the gunpla that I have built in 2017. So not necessarily, obviously, didn't come out. Not talking about the year's release. Not talking about that. I'll talk about the gunpla that I have built this year and what is my favorite that I have built. I'm not stalling. I'm literally kind of contemplating because that's a really cool question I hadn't put much thought into. Um, I would say the Master Grade Wing Gundam is probably my favorite. Give me a second. I'm going to go get that. Take me 1 second. 1 second. Here it is. So, the Wing Gundam Master Grade. I'm going to put that here. This is my favorite kit that I built this year. Because the wings are incredible. Now, I'm not going to play around it too much. You know, we're still working on our other stream here. We're still working on our build, but the wings are just beautiful and gorgeous. I put that right there. This is my favorite kit that I built this year. I have a soft spot in my heart for the Death Scythe. I love the Gundam, the Death Scythe, but that was also my second build. These wings are incredibly complicated and beautiful. I love them so much. As you see, it's separated because I wasn't handling it properly. But yeah, I would say that this was probably certainly my favorite kit. I love that Death Scythe, but I think the Death Scythe Hell Custom from Endless Waltz isn't my favorite Death Scythe. So this is my favorite kit that I built this year. I'm going to put it back in its box. It's beautiful. I love the wings. I love this Master Grade. But yeah, my Death Scythe I also kind of fucked up a little bit because it was my second Gundam build in years, and I just I fudged up here and there. I kind of messed up, but yeah, those wings are great. I love them so much. It is by far my favorite kit that I built this year. Gunpla. My favorite thing that I've done on the stream is the Millennium Falcon, and I'm not going to go get that because that's heavy as shit and huge. But some of y'all watched that. Look that up. That is the 1,300 piece Millennium Falcon from The Force Awakens with old Han Solo as a pilot. That's one of the coolest builds I've ever done. It's the biggest Lego set I've ever made in my life. It's one of the reasons why we got this big table. Thank you, Mr. Bob. Because it was time. That was such an incredible feat that it was too big for the table we were working on. Sorry, I just got an email. Looking to see where my... God damn it. Where am I? I'm sorry. I apologize that I keep replying to emails here. All right, great. Okay. Great. Got it. Everything's good. Everything's great. I'm just getting emails. I mentioned it. This is a good time to jump in here. So at 11:59 p.m., midnight tonight, if you're watching this here in the Twitch, I am doing a comedy show. If you're in the New York area, in Hell's Kitchen, that's the link to that. It's going to be real good. And while I'm sending some links, let's put out my stuff. Follow me on here. If you don't follow me already, give me a follow so you know when I stream. I stream twice a week. And that way you can always catch my streams. That's my Patreon. We're on the road to $150, where if I do $150 a month, I will add a third day stream. It'll be a Tuesday afternoon stream. Here's my Amazon wish list. A bunch of the kits. I've got Lego kits coming up that are all from my Amazon wish list. Is really awesome. And then my coffee link, which is a direct way to support me. You can do that. Those are the dumb things. But, I'm on YouTube, on Twitter, and all that here at Pat Baer. We've got another half an hour of streaming left, so we're going to get back into it. But I wanted to take this break while we had a moment and link to that. But that first link, the Hell's Kitchen link, it only matters tonight. I've been kind of promoting it, but I'm in a comedy show. I was getting emails about that, so I apologize for getting emails about that while I was doing this. Cut out cleanly. I mentioned this before. Um, this is the first kit in a while where there's multi-language instruction. Normally, obviously, there are numbers and arrows and that kind of thing, but it's usually just in Japanese. But this kit is modern enough that there is a lot of English in it, and while it's not necessary, it's very helpful. Like this little note of like cut cleanly. That's a thing I'm always endeavoring to do, but because it's telling me to, I'm going to make sure that I do a very good job of that. So we'll get it out, and then we're going to clean it up with the snipper clips and maybe our file if we need to. Yeah, all right. So yeah, we're going to cut this cleanly. And so that goes up in here. Yep, did that right. Okay. These are we're working on our feet here. So it's nice and easy and nice and quick. We'll do that. So yeah, all those links are in there. On Monday, my Patreon $10 a month supporters will get to vote on which Lego kit I build after this is done. Not necessarily next because I'll be doing this on Wednesday, and then I'll start my next kit no matter what. So it might be on Wednesday I start my next kit, or we might not. We might finish everything up on Wednesday. I'm not really sure. I'm doing a special Wednesday stream next week. 2 p.m. Eastern time to 3:30 p.m. Eastern time is the stream next Wednesday instead of Thursday. I'm doing a Wednesday stream. It's my pinned tweet, has my schedule for us of the year. So yeah, I'm doing a special stream on Wednesday, and I'm going to do a Lego set next. And then next Saturday, I don't know when I'm going to stream. It's a TBD. But sometime next Saturday, I will stream for an hour, do some mega constructs. I'll be in South Carolina. So there exists the possibility that my parents, whose internet is good, and I don't have to do Wi-Fi, I can do a solid internet connection with them. There is the possibility that their internet is going to be, that it's not going to work and I'm not going to be able to stream. My goal is to do that. I'm going to do everything in my power to be able to stream for y'all. But there does exist the possibility that it might not work out. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try real hard for next Saturday so that I don't have to do one stream in the month. Also, because like I understand that for the holidays, some people, this is when they can catch up on fun stuff and they have plenty of free time to watch videos, or they're with their families and maybe that's not the best. So they wish that they had either some YouTube videos to watch or some streams to watch. So I want to be able to do that. Next week will be weird. Like I said, I'm going to do a Wednesday stream. I'm going to do the Saturday stream in the afternoon, probably. My guess is I'm going to do it in the afternoon. I gotta figure that out. I'll be at my folks' place, and so it's just kind of like I'm a bit in their, on their schedule. So I'm not sure like what their plans are and all that. I'm trying to find that out and trying to nail that down so that I can get the word out about when I'm going to schedule or what I'm going to do next Saturday a little early, so that people know and they can tune in. Yeah, so we got another half an hour here. Like this kit, I don't think we're going to finish on Wednesday. We might finish by the end of Wednesday because I'm doing an hour and a half that day. But we're going to finish the feet up here and we're going to start on our legs. But it's we're not going to finish the legs tonight, I don't think, in the next half hour. I don't see that as a thing that's going to happen here. It could. We certainly could do that. I just don't think we will. This is a pretty intricate foot. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of range of motion that I'm really into. A lot of layering on this kit. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. I didn't, other than like the fact that it was cool weapons and the head looked real cool. I didn't have a lot of I didn't know what I was gonna get with this kit, but I saw it and it was like reasonably priced, and I liked the look of it, so I figured, what the heck. So we're gonna do a Lego set next. It'll be a Lego Star Wars set after this. It'll be our next primary big build. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And then after that, will be up to my $10 Patreon backers. They'll be able to vote in the future about whether I do another Lego set or I do the Death Scythe Master Grade, original Death Scythe Master Grade. Not the Hell, not the custom, the first version as is kit will be the next thing that I build. So I'm looking forward to, or that'll be an option for the next thing that I build. That's the next Gunpla that I'm going to do. Unless somebody buys me off my Amazon wish list a model kit like a Gunpla, and maybe I'll put that up for a vote as well. But right now, that's the next. This is the last Gunpla I have in my to build list. I have 3 Lego kits waiting for me to build them. One purchased by Mr. Harold Price, which is wonderful. 2 by Anonymous. I have 2 kits and I don't know who bought them, because here's the thing. You don't have to buy me stuff on my Amazon wish list. I would love it if you did, because then I have a stock and I'm never worried about having to buy something and get it shipped fast or any of that shit. That I have having a backlog is awesome. But if you ever do buy something off my Amazon wish list, please do me the favor. Please tell me, so that I can give you a shout out and thank you for doing it. I can't do that if you don't tell me who you are. And I also have a Lego set coming. Someone got one for Christmas, a person by the name of Coyote, and they wanted to, they're like, I'm not really into Lego. Can I donate it to you? Which is incredible. So nice of them. So they're sending me that. So I'm going to have a 4th kit coming in a couple weeks. So my cup runneth over, as they say. All right, so we're going to put these in. My assumption is these pegs that are going here are like extra cylinder things. They're playing with the whole like movement thing, like with the arms, where there's like little pieces that pop open and add to the idea of the fake skeletal structure of this thing. So put those in. All right, we'll do that. Yeah, if you haven't followed me on here, that's the nice thing. That way you can hear from me and know when I'm streaming. So that's something you could certainly do. There's no need to, subscribe, but if you can, that would be great. If you want to use your money or your Twitch subscription, if you have Twitch Prime, you could use that. Once again, I will say that if you haven't subscribed before and you want to do that, it is on sale. There's 20% off for new first months for subscribers. So that's a possibility. You could do that. Also, if you're gifting for people, if you got a friend who both of y'all watch this, you could gift them a subscription, and then they would get there would be 20% off for you to gift that. For the first month, which is pretty cool. And you get a Bear Cave emote, which I'll put in the chat right there. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I know that I'm giving a lot of plugs right now, and those of you that watch a lot know that I do consistently plug my stuff. Aura Hack, AURAHACK, Aura Hack, my friend Erica, did a 24 hours for Extra Life for Giant Bomb, and then like a couple hours later was like woke up and went, oh, I didn't plug any of my shit. I know that a lot of people followed her on Twitch and subscribed on Twitch. She got a lot of subscribers, but like maybe people didn't know about her Twitter accounts, didn't know about her Patreon, that kind of stuff. But if I'm anything, I'm pretty decent promoter of my own material. I like to think I'm pretty good when it comes to that, or at the very least, my hope is that people know. Like So I'm going to be in my words, actual words that I've written, will be in a write up of some kind in the future. I can't say more than that. That's all I can say right now. Obviously, I'll promote it when it does come out. But I know that when that goes live, I will get a bit of a influx of people on Twitter. I might get some Twitch followers out of that. When I did the Extra Life with Alex Navarro, um, I got a boost in follows here, which was very nice, because people didn't know, because they don't know if you don't tell them, and sometimes they miss out. Like, not everybody who knows me from the internet, who goes to 404ing it at PAX, follows me on Twitter, or if they do, they're not on Twitter all the time, so they don't know that they should be checking this out, or they're like, they see the link and they're like, oh, I don't really want to watch a live stream of this. And if they ever clicked on it, they'd be like, oh, wait, I do like this a lot. Um, so it's a thing where obviously consistent self promotion can be annoying, especially when you know. When you know my deal, I can understand why you wouldn't want to hear about it all the time. When you're like, oh, whatever. But maybe also, maybe you watch these streams, right? And you follow me, and that's very nice. And you, a couple months ago when I was like, or the beginning of this month when I was like, oh man, things are not great. You sent me a couple dollars on Ko-fi, which is incredible, and I appreciate it. And that's kind of the extent of it. And you're like, all right, that's it for me. Um, and then you hit a month where you're like, oh, I can back you on Patreon. I forgot about that. You didn't forget about that because I didn't let you forget, because I talk about it all the time. Because I want to keep doing all this stuff. I want to grow the channel. I want to have, uh, you know what, one of my goals for 2018. I'll say this. Well, for the next 10 or 15 minutes, I'll talk about the next year and what some of my goals are for this. One of my goals is I want to have mods. I want moderators. I don't need a moderator right now because it's pretty light Saturday night. I only got a 6 of you watching right now. I think my peak was 8 or 9. No one's chatting, which is okay and totally understandable, like I said. But I want it so where I can't keep up. I want it so where I'm like, oh, wait, and then, oh, I lost it. Okay, I don't know. And then I need to like double back, and then someone says something, and then someone popped in and they're really shitty, and then I don't have to ban them because someone else already did. I like to build my channel up to that. That would be cool. I would be into that, right? That's the thing I would like to get to. I'd like to hit the, like, I think the most currents I've had is 30 views, concurrent views, recorded on Twitch. I'd like to blow that out of the water. I'd like to really increase those numbers dramatically. I'd like to hit 50 subscribers. Yes, Mr. Bob, I don't want shitty people, but I do want people who are curious to come in. So one of the things I've been kind of gearing up mentally for is that I'm not in the Gunpla category right now. I don't categorize myself as Gunpla because I wanted to get people that knew me from other things. I wanted to get comfortable in my own skin as a streamer. I wanted to get to the point where I felt like I could, deal with an influx of people who were like, well, why aren't you going to paint that? Aren't you going to shape, like, whatever? Aren't you going to do the stickers? Why do you do it like this? All that stuff. Like, I wasn't ready for that when I started. I just wanted some friends and people that knew me from the internet and were predisposed to like what I do. And I wanted to get out the kinks of streaming, right? I had to get a little bit of better equipment. We went through a long period of me trying to figure out how to make the mic situation work in a way that was beneficial, which I think we have. But yeah, I'm gonna advertise my stream in the Gunpla category. I'm going to reach out to some other creators and try to just get my name out there more and kind of build up the channel a bit. Because like I said, right now we're between 20 and 30. It's pretty consistent as far as subs go, which is good. But I can build it up more. Part of that is obviously getting to 3 streams a week. That is a thing that I have been looking into doing. I want to do. Hopefully my Patreon will be able to hit that, and financially, I'll be able to afford to have the take time for it and um, not just the money for it, but like like have enough kits for it, have enough desire to do it, have enough people watching, and do 3 times a week, and then I don't think I'm going to hit partner by a year of me streaming. Um, I don't think my concurrents are going to be up there. I don't think my average views are going to be up there enough to warrant it. But that's something by the 2019. So in the year 2018, that's something that I would like to strive for. I would like to hit uh, that many subscribers. I think that is indeed a possibility that we could do. Um, so that's kind of like one of my goals for the next year is it's just like just kind of putting myself out there more, getting out there, getting people interested in the product, or at least come check out the streams. Uh, we've had a couple times where we've had like conversations I had nothing to contribute to going on in the chat, and that is something I'd like to see more of. I like to have y'all have that. Right now, I have held off having a Discord. I'm going to have a Discord for subscribers at some point. Haven't done that yet, just because they're having, don't have enough consistent subscribers to warrant that. It'll be like for Patreon backers and Twitch subscribers. That's the goal. I will do that at some point. Haven't done that yet, but that is on the horizon. Once my numbers go up a little bit, as another like make good / thank you. So that's those are the things I'm working on right now. Let's see here. Like it doesn't make sense to have like a Twitch only chat for subscribers, because there's not a lot of you yet. At some point, that might be something I do. I kind of don't want to do that because I appreciate anyone who watches, and so it doesn't like I don't want to feel like people have to feel like they have to subscribe in order to be able to like be in conversation and chat. Like that's shitty, and I don't want to do that. So that's not happening. I wouldn't have that. But having a Discord for Patreon backers and for subscribers is a thing that's coming next year. But I want to build up the channel a bit before we do that. So those are just some of the things I'm working on for next year. Mostly it's like continuing to give away kits when I hit milestones. My next milestone is 50 subscribers. I will give away another kit. That'll be the Master Gundam from G Gundam is the next one on the docket. So that's coming up in the future. But we're a ways away from that. Getting to 50. That'll be a little bit. That'll be sometime in the new year. Hopefully, I'll do another pass and get another build up a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at for the new year. Gonna keep streaming. I'm going to be at live shows that I will do will be PAX East and PAX West and PAX Unplugged. I'm going to do those are the PAXs I'm going to. I will attempt to do a couple of New York shows. I always submit to New York Comic Con. I don't ever expect to get in, but I always submit to it. So I'll do that again, and then the only other thing is like maybe FlameCon. If GamerX East happens, I'll do that. I'm trying to do 404 again at FlameCon. I've been trying to figure out how to get that in there. But I might also, if they don't want to do FlameCon, which is a wonderful queer comic convention that I love dearly and want to do shows at and want to promote, I might do improvised postmortem there and do like a comic book themed postmortem and get some comic creators. So that's something that I've been thinking about. maybe that's something that they would like better than 404ing it, which is a great show that they should have accepted and didn't this year. So we'll see. But that's the goal, and then I'm gonna go to Emerald City Comic Con. It looks like, but I will not be um, doing any shows there. I've never been. I will be doing a panel, but none of my material. That's what I should say. I'm going out there to do a panel. I can't give information on that yet. Might have 2 panels. Definitely going to have 1 panel when I go out there. That's the reason I'm going out there is to host a panel that I'll have more details on when they become available. But I right now all I can say is that it'll be really good and fun and cool, and you'll like it. You'll like the panel that I'm gonna do. But when I'm out there, I'll do, I'll try to stream at least once when I'm out there. PAX East is going to be big. That's the big show. PAX East, I'll have League of Heels, 404ing it, Improvised Postmortem, and maybe Build with Baer Workshop as a panel. I haven't pitched it yet. I haven't submitted yet. I'm still trying to get names. I put offers out to a few people to be like, hey, here are the panels I'm doing. Which one would you want to do? And so I'm trying to put together enough good names for both, so that I can do that. So that's my goal, is to get enough names together so that I can do all those shows. I mean, League of Heels is a lock. 404ing is a lock. Improvised Postmortem is probably going to happen at PAX East because PAX West went really well and they liked it. And actually, one of the things I'm going to try to do is that's one that I might not want that one to be streamed. You know what I mean? That's something that I might want to just record and release later because I was kind of bummed because it involved some people. It ended up on, which generally I'm kind of okay with, but it was on Twitch, so it's it's not really mine. It's Twitch's. It's Twitch PAX's thing, and they have every right to put it up and stream it, of course. But I ended up having the Giant Bomb unarchived folks put it up for days, and it was like, I'm not gonna get the views they're gonna get. It's part of like streaming, and I understand that. So, and I would rather stream than not stream. If the options of having my show streamed or not, I'd rather it be streamed. But I guess I would prefer it didn't end up on other people's YouTube channels before it could be on mine when I get them filmed. It's a minor gripe. I'm not trying to be negative about that. I'm trying to keep it positive because people want to see that, and some people can't watch it live and they want to watch it on YouTube, and so it is a service to make sure that it gets out there for people. But I would rather they watch it on my channel. And all right, finish that. Okay, so we did our legs here. We did our feet. We did our. We've got our waist. We've got our arms and our head and our chest. I'm not going to connect it yet because there might be something I'm missing there. But all right, we're going to do legs on Wednesday, and legs, backpack, and weapons. I think we'll finish it up. There's a chance we won't, and we'll finish that when I get back. But I believe that on Wednesday we'll get this done. So I'm going to end the stream there. I want to thank you for joining me. Thanks for coming out. All these links here, Twitter and YouTube, youtube.com/PatBaer. I will post the archive of this up tonight for my Patreon backers, and then everyone else gets it tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. This was a nice little chill, quiet stream, so I appreciate that. We're making moves. We're getting stuff done on this kit. We'll be ready to go with the legs and weapons, and I honestly do think on Wednesday we'll finish up. Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. For my international friends, you're welcome. For those with jobs, I'm sorry, watch the archive. But I'll be back again on Wednesday for a special Wednesday stream because I'm flying on Thursday. I want to thank you for joining me. Subscribe, follow, comment, send me photos of stuff you're working on anytime on twitter.com/PatBaer. Thank you to everybody in the chat who hung out tonight. I really appreciate it. Spent your Saturday night with me, and that's going to do it. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your weekend.